Chapter 83, Being Toyed Around. After hearing the report, he looked through the walls and floors and saw the elevator door. Who's near the elevator on the first floor? Unit 6 and 10. Su Cheng, across from the elevator door, there's a man sitting there with a brushed back hairstyle, looking to be about 30 years old. He's responsible for interfering with the elevator to delay the police if a situation was to arise. Again, he's also armed. Dolphin stared at Su Cheng in disbelief. Every order coming out of his mouth seemed to be a targeted blow to their members, and all the details were actually correct. Even Shen Yao and Ran Jing were so shocked that their jaws dropped. Unit 6 and 10 arrived at the elevator one after another, and they indeed found a guy sitting on the chair across from the elevator reading a paper. When the two arrived before him, the guy was still pretending to read the news, but a police badge was flashed in front of his eyes, and before he could react, cuffs were already placed on his hands. The police also took out a gun from the guy's waist and reported to Su Cheng. The target at the elevator was taken care of. Such replies made Dolphin's face darken. Su Cheng smiled and looked towards her. Do you still want to play? Dolphin lowered her head, not saying a word. She was trying hard to not panic. Su Cheng continued to issue orders. End of the corridor on the 4th floor, there is a guy in a trench coat. His hair is a bit long but it's tied up, and he's responsible for watching our moves after we exit our ward. Hearing the command, 3 criminal police units on the floor walked over, and they saw a suspicious man in a trench coat in the middle of lighting up a cigarette. An undercover officer went over and asked, "Bro, can I borrow the lighter?" The hitman in the trench coat glanced at him. But just at that moment, 2 other officers came at him from both sides, pushed him onto the ground and cuffed him up. They then confiscated his weapon and escorted him into the elevator to the 1st floor. Very well. After Su Cheng said that, he turned to ask Ran Jing, "How long has it been?" "About 8 minutes. Ran Jing checked her watch. Su Cheng smiled, and he picked up the mic and continued to give out orders. "Listen, send 3 more guys to the parking lot. There's a parking fee collector on duty, he's already been bought out by the Hitman Group. When you guys go over, get him to send the message and say that the people went onto the van and the van had driven away. The van is parked right there, and the key's in. You guys go and drive that away from the hospital. Then, the other 3 of you guys go to the hotel across the street. There's a room facing my window, it's on the 4th floor, 3rd from my right. Break into it, and find the hitman that's been keeping watch on the whole hospital's situation." "Yes, sir." The well-trained criminal police units knew their tasks very well. 3 of them went to the parking lot and showed their badge to the parking fee collector. The staff member was a timid man and he gave in immediately. I didn't know what was going on, they just drove the van in and left, and they told me to speak into the mic the moment someone takes the van and drives out." "Okay, I hope you can cooperate with the police so you don't get dragged into this." Of course, of course. Later, when we leave, just pretend that the car left with the right people and tell the guy that the van left." The staff nodded. "Got it." Then, the 3 officers got into the van, and then they heard Su Cheng's voice. "Turn off the lights inside the van or the guy from the hotel across the street will notice you. Hide a bit, and drive straight towards the suburbs." "Got it." Just as the van drove out, the parking fee collector said to the central station of the Hitman Group, "The car left." Scarface couldn't see clearly whether the van left or not, so he asked his man that was keeping a watch from the hotel across the street, "Did the van leave the hospital yet?" "Yes." "Scarface, I will follow it, watch my rear for me to see if I have any police tailing me." "Okay." After Su Cheng heard everything, he gave the order to the officers on standby at the hotel. "You can take out the eye at the hotel now." "Sir, we are on the way. We got the room service staff with us and we will take care of it after 1 minute," the officers said. The room service staff member pushed his cart and knocked on the door. The 3 officers hid on both sides. Hearing the knock, the hitman inside saw through the peephole and asked after noticing that it was just a hotel staff, "What is it?" "Sir, I haven't changed the towels for today yet, I'm sorry for being late." The hitman was very vigilant. He wasn't going to spend the night anyway, so for the sake of safety and avoiding unnecessary trouble, he shouted, "It's fine." The 3 officers outside heard how vigilant that guy was, so they inserted the room key right away. Knowing that the door would most likely be locked as well from the inside, they kicked the door open. The door slammed into the killer, catching him off guard. When he came back to his senses, the officers already had their guns pointed at him. Freeze! Sir, the eye has been taken out. Got it. Su Cheng smiled, and then he turned to Dolphin whose face was already pale. It's only been 10 minutes, and we got all of your guys. Dolphin's body shivered, and she looked at Su Cheng with a terrified expression as she instinctively asked, "How did you do it?" Su Cheng smiled. There are many people you can place your trust in, yet you guys chose to believe in other criminals. Don't you know that those people are all ones that will do anything for money? Someone already exposed your entire operation to us. Impossible, even if you know that our group was given this mission, you wouldn't know the details of our operation. Su Cheng pointed at his brain. I've seen more than 700 episodes of Detective Conan, it's all about deduction, you know. Whatever. Su Cheng decided to say whatever he could to get over this first. There was no way he was going to tell Ranjing and Shen Yao that he could see through everything around him. That would be ridiculous, so he might as well try and play mysterious first. We lost. Dolphin sighed and lowered her head. Su Cheng, nope, there's still the leader. Dolphin immediately raised her head and begged Su Cheng, please let him go. Let go a killer? Are you kidding me? He's only the curator of the event. The curator is the most deserving one for death. Su Cheng said in a deep voice, it's like how the guy selling drugs is more sinful than the one taking it. It's because of curators like him that things escalated and became more deadly. The police and judges definitely won't tolerate this kind of people. After that, Su Cheng said to his mic, units in the van, take caution, there's a mini Mercedes business sedan tailing you. Just drive directly to the police HQ, and notify the HQ to have people ready for arrest. Yes. Su Cheng took off the headset and handed to Ran Jing. Captain Ran, I will give the credit to you. I'm tired now, I will go to sleep. And then, he yawned, stretched, and went to sleep. Shen Yao went up and pulled up the quilt for him. On the other side, Ran Jing's eyes were opened wide with her jaw dropping to the floor.